Hi everyone, this is Chris Steele from Fun Infused Games. Just wanted to talk about what's going on with our projects and show some stuff that I haven't really shown before. Uh, First off, on the Bad Caterpillar front, we've set a release date for October 19th. That's this upcoming Wednesday. The game is going to be 99 cents. It's going to initially be discounted, I think 10%. I'm gonna think about that, and maybe I'll leave it like that, or maybe I'll discount a little bit more. But that is certainly the plan going forward for that. And having that out the door is kind of left me thinking about, what projects do I want to work on next? I've got a couple games that are ready to be ported to different platforms. Um, I've still got 2D Voxel Madness was actually approved for Steam release. There's a lot of work to do on that game, and it wasn't my favorite game to make. And I think if I really wanted to do it right and make it good, um, it would be a lot of work, and I'm not really super excited to delve back into that one. For those not familiar with it, it's a 2D sort of Minecraft Terraria kind of thing, but it's pretty simplistic. I think it's a little bit probably more fast-paced than those, but it's definitely a lot more shallow than they are. And to compete with either of those or to really add something new to the genre, I think it would take a lot of work, and it's a lot of work that I'm not entirely sure that I want to put into that title. Not because I don't like. I mean, I want any of the games I make to have a high level of polish and design and fun. And I just like my heart just really isn't in that one. It was sort of supposed to be kind of a fun, silly, 2D voxels because their voxels are inherently 3D, play on it, and we kind of went off the Volcanoes engine. And like it's on Xbox Live Indie Games right now. If you want to try it out, I mean it's okay, but to do it right, I think it would be a lot of effort, and I don't want to put something out there that people are just going to trash, and I just don't think I want to put that kind of effort into it. So we'll see. It's definitely not going to be my next project. Maybe down the road someday, or maybe not. But surprisingly, it got approved through Steam Greenlight like really quickly. So there's obviously people that looked at that sort of game and wanted it. So I don't know. I don't know. I hate to deprive, the masses of that as well, if that's what people want. So if you are interested in that particular game, please like comment or hit me on Twitter and be like, hey Chris, we want to play that game that you're shitting all over. So uh, my other sort of likely project is going to be Volcanoes, porting that over to the PlayStation 4. I do have a PlayStation 4 developer kit. I've had it for probably over a year now. I did, I had Volcanoes pretty much working, and that was before I did the Steam port, and I branched the code bases into two different branches, and it was just really challenging to sort of keep those in sync. So what I end up doing is basically focusing on the Steam version, and then my plan is to sort of merge those changes in. And so that's kind of where I am on the PlayStation version. Plus, I've got to maintain, PlayStation specific stuff, and it's going to need different achievements and leaderboards and that kind of jazz. So it's pretty far along, but it still needs some work. And I don't probably plan to change the game that much. I might tweak some levels and some movement stuff, but it's not going to be anything drastic, like the port from the Xbox Live Indie Games version of All Chaos to the Steam was. Um, so what's next here? What I'm going to show you is a project that I've been kind of working on here and there for probably several years now. Uh, I was going to do this as my next project after I think probably Hypership Out of Control, and then I started working on some other things, and I started doing ports and this and that, and before you know it, it kind of went by the wayside, and I think part of that is because it's such a big project that it's going to take a lot of effort to completely finish off. And we'll see if I ever actually do finish it off because, like I said, a lot of effort, and most of the games that I've tried to work on are more sort of reasonable, like 3 to 6 month start to finish kind of projects. So, but I've, over the years, more and more, I wanted to do something that's like really cool and really gets people talking, and I think you have to like think on a bigger scale to hit that for the most part. I mean, you might come across something like Flappy Birds that really grabs people's attentions, but I mean you can't really bank on that. But if you do something like larger scale and in a genre in demand, I think it's sort of more likely that you're gonna have that sort of large scale success. Assuming you do it right. And I think that's kind of where this game could fit if I finish it off right. But we'll see. Anyways, I'll play it and talk about it a little bit as I go. Now, originally, this was going to be a Xbox Live indie game, and then it's been ported since to mono game. The graphic style has changed like several times. I originally was going to go for a more sort of low scale, pixel arty kind of thing that I was going to do myself, and then I opted to do something that was more, I don't even know what you call the style, but a lot of uh, a lot of solid colors and a minor amount of texturing, not like super advanced looking graphics, but like a pretty unique look. I know I see sometimes when Google does the little art things for the Google when they'll do like a tropical island one, they'll have these like really kind of simplistic sort of palm trees and islands and stuff, and like that was the idea for the art style. And then I went to like, let's do a little bit more realistic, and I've since kind of gone back to the more pixel art. So you'll see as I play, like some of the assets don't really match up. You'll also might notice some stuff from Volcanoes, because at some point I took the Volcanoes engine and made that into this game, although that was a long time ago. So there's a lot. The change in Volcanoes that actually isn't in this engine, and a lot I had to redo, and a lot that I went in a different direction with. So um, I think that probably covers all the what and whatnots. The name too was, I was originally going to call this Ace Platform Hero. I don't think I'm going to go with that name. Uh, I thought, picking a name is hard, and yeah, this is all this. And I thought when I thought of this name, I was like, oh, that's really cool. Like that, I like that name. And then I think I subconsciously was stealing from like Ace Pet Detective, and it's too close to that, and I don't like that. I want the game to have a more unique thing. Now maybe I will still use Ace as the title hero, and figure out some other kind of naming around him. But yeah, I don't know. That's probably gonna change. So don't. I just call this, usually in my source code, I just call this pixel platformer, and that's not really a great name either. But that's what we got. All right, so we're gonna have a couple save files because this is actually not like a traditional platformer in the sense that you go from level to level. This is actually more like a Metroidvania, but with like platforming elements. So, this is my little guy. Most of the graphics right now of his movement are modeled after Super Mario World, if you can see that right now. That was just to kind of get me going. I think eventually I'm going to probably change that, a little bit and give him a more unique look. But, it's good if you're just kind of playing with something to do something simple and to get up and running and figure out if the game is fun and if it works before you spend a lot of time. Plus, I've got to really change like how I'm doing the graphics, and I haven't really figured that out yet because I want different like items and stuff throughout the game. There's gonna be different probably different shoes that will affect like how high you can jump, and there might be different hats that will give you say different abilities, and maybe I'm thinking there's gonna be some kind of like power glove type thing like they have in Legend of Zelda that's gonna allow you to pick up some heavier blocks, and I want all those to be reflected on the character, and I want to be able to do like individual body parts. So if you've got different gloves on, I want your hands to be able to have those specific gloves on without having to like completely redraw the entire set of sprites. So I've got to figure out how I want to do that and separate things and put everything together, and including like hats and probably different shirts and pants and stuff. So I don't know if I'm gonna do a different head, but maybe a mask or something might be fun. Or maybe like, for a Halloween promotion, like, oh, you can have a pumpkin head. So, anyways, as you move off the screen, you kind of transition between different levels or different tile sets. This right here, it looks like a desert, and I'll probably use a pretty similar set for like a desert tile set, but it's actually going to be a town, so there will be buildings, there will be people walking around here, and it's not going to be like a real interactive like conversation, but you're going to be able to talk to people and see what they say. And I think one of the things that I do well is sort of a quirky, unique sense of humor in my kind of games. And I really when it comes to the townspeople and the conversations you have, I really want them to sort of stand out, um, and be unique as to what I can do. So I'm actually one of the things I'm looking forward to is actually getting people in here and having them talk, and I'm probably gonna have some fourth wall breaking stuff and a lot of really kind of goofy things. But there's also gonna be some people you have to talk to that are gonna progress the story. uh, I think this first town, there's going to be somebody, and he's going to like give you a key to unlock a door. I believe is my plan, and so you have to talk to him to progress farther in the level, and I'll talk about that a little bit more when I get to the area where the door is. All right. So if you see in the left corner, you've got health. You got basically the two hearts, and then you've got this other little meter. That's like a mana sort of meter, and there's going to be different power-ups throughout the game that you can collect that will increase that. And when you do certain special abilities, it'll run an out, and double jump is one of those. So when you double jump, it kind of runs out, and then it slowly builds up. And as you increase your level, it's going to build up faster. And then, like I was saying before, you'll be able to collect certain containers that will increase that limit from 20 to higher. So, and double jump is probably not one of the abilities you're going to start with. You're going to have to find like maybe some different kind of shoes. And I think I might actually have the ability where you can collect multiple different shoes, and then through like a UI screen pick which one you're going to wear. But I haven't really gotten there yet. So for now, it's enabled right away so I could test and see what the game's like, and because I want certain areas to be accessible like only via double jump, and eventually other power-ups as well. These are sort of like coin things. They just they give you points basically. You might notice kind of as I play, it's like if you've played a lot of Super Mario Brothers 2, that's kind of an inspiration for this game. I'd say that, and actually Zelda 2. So because I'm borrowing some of the RPG kind of element stuff from Zelda 2, but I want it to play a lot more like Super Mario Brothers 2. So this is actually one of the rare games too where at the moment I've done all the artwork myself. A lot of my games I contract out for that, but this one I want to be able to put in like a high volume of art, and I want to be able to sort of change things on the fly. And that's really hard when you're paying somebody else because, it costs you money to have them redesign things, and you really hate at that point to throw anything away they did that, you spent money on. There's some hidden stuff. You can land in these palm trees. But presumably that's not something you'd find unless you sort of like were like going out and exploring. And then you might notice like, oh hey, I can land in a palm tree. And then from there on you might start looking to jump in other palm trees to see, you know, if you can get higher and find anything cool up here. So now all these sort of spinny square coin things, when you leave an area and come back, my plan at this point is to have them regenerate. But there's going to be some star blocks that are also in the game, and you can see on the UI there's like a star and it says 0/100, and there's going to be a finite number of those, and there's going to be certain things that unlock if you can find so many of those, and you'll be only be able to hit them once as you find them throughout the game. I don't know if it'll be 100, it'll be some number. Oop. Alright, here's a second one. He definitely looks like the little blobby thing from Zelda 2. He was one of the early enemies, and he doesn't really kind of... His look doesn't quite match right with some of the other things, so he probably needs some work, and... I don't know, I'd like him to be a little bit more creative. I like these little guys, although they walk kind of funny. There's two different colors. The one color, this orange color version, he walks back and forth. When he hits the edge, he turns around. And then there's another blue-purple version, and he will walk right off the edges. So he's the stupid one, and the other one is the smart one. Alright, so when you pass over a door, you get an up arrow, and you can go inside. And also kind of like Super Mario Bros. 2, I haven't really finished how this looks because there's a lot of background and stuff that you can't really see or get to. And here's one of those star blocks. So the idea is that you would hit that once, and now I've got one on my little counter, and it's always going to be knocked out after that point, so I can never hit it again. And you can see when I went in that door, see I basically climbed up through the inside of that. Alright. If you notice, like when I bounce off those enemies, like I get a +1, +2, basically it doubles the points for every one that I can land on consecutively. I'll show you something down here. So if you happen to fall off of there, you can fall down to this whole no thing. So it's not like an instant death, and I haven't really thought about it a ton, but I'm probably not going to have bottomless pits or anything like that. So if you see a pit and you can fall in it, there's generally going to be something down at the bottom. Now, if I don't want you to go down there, I'll put like spikes like I have over here, and then you'll die. But there's actually, if you had fallen down earlier, there's one of those star blocks to the left on a higher up platform, and then you can jump across over the spikes. So it's sort of like a trial and error. You'd have to jump off the platform, and maybe the first time you did it, you fell, and you're like, hey, there's something down there as I'm falling my death. And then you subsequently go back and look. So, and a lot of these levels aren't really fleshed out really well. It's something like I just kind of quickly threw together. So there's a lot of empty space, and sort of there's not much going on here. Now this is another one of those doors, and then this is basically like how you'd get back up. Oh, here's like if I had gotten hit. Here, I'll show you. Oh, I meant to get hit. I didn't mean to. Oh, I did not mean to kill myself. So upon dying, it's supposed to start you back at a save point. There should be like something here that says this is a save point, and then you can come back here and save. So we're not going to do live saves. I think I found a bug in the game too. My score is continually going up. So that's awesome. See, that's what happens when you're gaming without a net, so to speak. Or demoing without a net. Oh, it did end. Okay, I think I just got a ton of points. Basically what happens, like, I thought for adding the points, it looks a little bit neater to, instead of just immediately adding them, to add them like sort of one by one until it hits the point what your point should be. It's just like a little sort of polishing thing that makes the game look cooler. So, alright. We'll try that door thing again. See if I can do it without dying. Okay. If you notice, like on some of those jumps, I jumped higher than others. It's you know, it's like Mario. You hold down the jump button when you hit something, you bounce up high. You don't hold down the jump. You just kind of little dinky thing. But that's you know, if I fall down there, it takes me out there. So basically, I don't want you to get stuck somewhere. So and like obviously there would be a lot more stuff here. I just haven't built out that level yet. And there's probably some stuff I should do because you can hear those enemies bouncing off screen like a lot. Alright. Oh, okay. I just want to make sure I didn't fall on those spikes. Something wrong with those tiles. I can apparently see through them. Alright. So this would be where I was intending to have the door that you had to unlock, and maybe some kind of sign that says like, hey, you need this key to unlock this door, and then you go back to go to town to look for the key, or you know, something. I haven't quite figured that out. And then this would open up a whole new area, and you know, it's basically going to be a Metroidvania kind of game. So this will be the initial sort of path, and I'm going to have some other places that are opened up and then eventually blocked by, you know, like maybe you get the double jump after you go through this area, and then you can get to that, you know, then you can get over a higher jump, or you know, maybe you get the power glove so you can lift a block to get through a different passage. So we're going to try to do that sort of thing. If you see up in the top corner, there's the XY blocks that don't have anything in them. You know, those will eventually be able to map some kind of power up, or you know, maybe the power glove might be one of them, and you know, maybe you get a hammer, or you know, a Gatling gun. Well, probably not a Gatling gun, but I haven't really figured that out yet. You know, it's one of those things I just threw on there because I was thinking that I might like it at some point. But yeah, that's a pretty good idea of where I'm going, and you know, I'll probably like. This seems to be a game that I always kind of fall back on. It's like I work on a little bit here and a little bit there, and it progressively gets a little bit better. And it's like it's kind of fun to mull through and play, and I think it's got a lot of potential. It's just pretty big in scope, and I get distracted on other sort of smaller things. And you know, part of me wants to. I don't think there is a platformer game that's quite like this, but you know, part of me would like to do like a Metroidvania kind of game that's, you know, more space kind of theme, or you know, something that's more along the lines of Zelda 2. So I don't know, we'll see. I mean, the nice thing is that if I want to do either of those genres, I can keep building on this, and then I can kind of, you know, pivot to one of those kind of games later, because a lot of the design of, you know, how the levels transition and work, and how the power-up system and experience system, you know, will all function largely the same. All right, I'm gonna call it a day on this. I'm trying to keep these videos to more like 10 to 15 minutes. We're pushing 25 almost right now, so I'm gonna say bye. But yeah, make sure you tune in to Steam for our Bad Caterpillar release on Wednesday. And I'd love to get more people subscribing to these videos. So push subscribe if you like what we talked about, because I do plan to be more active in the day's future. And I'm going to talk about, you know, maybe this game or other projects that I'm working on, or maybe some just general design stuff, as there's interest in that too. So anyways, have a good night. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Take care. Bye.